Welcome to Bring It Game presents the Unashamed Gamers, episode 17.
Do you know, Ben, I've been thinking.
Uh-oh.
You know those simulator games, like Farming Simulator, Job Simulator, Goat Simulator?
Yeah.
Well, I was thinking, wouldn't it be cool if we had Dog Grooming Simulator?
Isn't that just Nintendogs?
Do you think they're all dead now?
3, 2, 1, fight!
Welcome back to the Unashamed Gamers with Ben and Paul. Today we're talking Mafia 3, Watchdogs 2 and Rockstar future projects? Question mark?
I don't want to. Just don't want to talk about
Yeah.
None of them, they all sound rubbish.
They sound shit. They do.
Mafia 3 looks amazing.
Yeah, it does. I cannot wait for that game.
I was watching some gameplay. I've been reading about it's like it's
Reading?
two I say that, yeah. You know what I mean? Audio books. You know what I mean? I just held it in front of us and sat and stared at it.
Pretended to read. Pretended to thumb a page every now and again.
I only ever bought magazines for the old demos that was on
Yeah,
quarantine.
same. I did as well.
£5 for like PlayStation magazine.
I know,
for,
it was
like
mad.
a crap demo of Croc. You know what I mean?
Crap? That was gold.
Did anyone buy Croc? Like,
I don't even think the people who made the game actually bought the
it
game.
was like, let's
We don't
try
want it for
cash in on
free.
Crash Bandicoot success, but with none of the charm or playability.
Yeah, it makes
What
sense.
a crock of shit. I didn't say that. I thought it wasn't even funny. What am I doing?
It's like all your comedy was in your beard.
Yeah.
Now it's gone.
You mention it more than me. I didn't even mention it. You talk about it all the time.
Ben shaved his beard.
Yeah. And I give it a Paul. He keeps it in a glass case.
So I can bring it out when I'm missing him.
Prays to it every night. I've seen him cry next to it.
I do.
Do you know, like Mr. Freeze on Batman, where he keeps his wife in like the frozen,
Yeah.
like spinning around slowly?
Yeah.
That's
It's
like,
got so you need someone to masturbate too.
that's you. You've got my beard on a pin.
That just spins around
That slowly rotates.
and plays. Dude, I totally miss you.
Yeah.
I really fucking
If you're having
miss
a really
you.
tough day, you'll open it and smell it.
Yeah, those beard oils he used, they were nice. That was some good shit, brother. So
Pro
yeah,
tip: never use beard oil.
is this now a beard podcast?
I don't
Let's
know.
change
I
it.
just don't know why you would use beard oil.
I don't know. I didn't even know it was a thing. I just
It's an
said it
actual
for,
thing
for
in,
the
like,
lulz.
Because obviously, I used to own a beard. Now Paul owns my
Yeah.
beard.
Now it's on a
No,
plinth
but,
in the
like,
corner.
Like I would get like if I posted a picture on like social media.
Yeah.
Like beard oil companies would follow us, like on Twitter,
Right.
they'd follow us.
All right. Okay.
Like so,
Use
in,
this
in,
beard
the, in the
oil.
hope that I use it, I'm thinking, well, I got this far.
Yeah.
You know,
Without your oil.
without oil, and I mean, is that an
scumbags.
attractive thing? An oily beard? Oh, I like
Well,
how
I've got
oily
oily
it is,
skin,
you know what I mean?
so no.
I've got greasy hair. Might as well match the beard. Like, you know what I mean? Where's the selling point? You know what I mean? Nobody's smelling my beard going, that beard fucking stinks, mate.
That's some oily beard,
You know what
brother.
I mean? That's why I shaved it off, because of the stinky oily beard.
And now I have it in a glass
Now
case.
Paul uses it as a wanking mitt.
No, I don't. Not much. Not every day.
Why did you say that so high pitched? No, I don't.
No, I don't. I do.
So video games, yeah?
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
gaming podcast. Grow up.
It's a beard podcast now.
Grow up, man.
Dedicated to Ben's beard. Only on Beard Podcast.
Shaved it off. I was sick because I was sick of you. All with the
Stroking
beard
it.
talk, you know what I mean? Stroking it, yeah. When I'm not looking, I'm just tickling it. Oh, it's dead itchy. This. No, I was just stroking it when you weren't looking, mate.
Yeah, that's
And the beard. What?
sad but true.
So, moving swiftly on.
Mafia 3.
Why does this happen every time?
I don't know.
Every time we're like, let's talk about something seriously, and then
Yeah.
it just devolves into
Yep,
filth.
it does. But that's us. If you don't like it, well, you're not listening anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Hey, my mum might listen to 2
Yeah.
minutes.
Yeah, my dad would listen if I knew who he was. So he could be listening. He could be one of the 20
Imagine that, though.
listeners.
Your dad just doesn't give a shit about you, but loves video
Yeah.
games and just happens
He just
to
listens to it.
go, Paul Kid, I like his
I
style.
like him.
There's
Yeah.
something about him familiar. I don't know what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just like the cut of his jib.
That's it. Yeah, sad
Same
but true.
jawline. Same
Well, if you're
floppiness,
from
what?
Wallsend, you don't usually have a dad living with you, so you get it. You get it, listener. You get it,
You
listener.
get It'd be weird though at our age if your dad was just living with you, just in with your girlfriend, just living with you.
He does. He's sat right there now, just waving, listening to the podcast,
sitting in the corner of the bedroom when he's about to make love. What are you doing?
Make love? What's that? Is that a thing where you cry?
Where you kiss my beard that you have.
I put
in
the beard on.
Case, yeah.
I'm like,
you wear that.
I said to my girlfriend, "Do you want to get freaky?" Yeah, and I just turn around with your beard on.
I want to get freaky with you.
It's funny enough, it's the only time I get to have sex. It's quite scary. So yeah, Mafia
that
3.
Or when you wear your Ben mask.
You know about the Ben mask?
I sell them.
To me.
Benmasks.org.
Oh God. So yeah.
I'll put a link in the description. What we're talking about.
5 minutes of nonsense. Yeah.
Right,
yeah.
So Mafia 3.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's a game that's coming out, but back to the beat. No.
What I was saying was, it's 2K Games who obviously a huge publisher. They make loads of awesome games like
Rockstar games and stuff as well.
Yeah, they publish like you said, it's Take-Two Interactive. They own Rockstar and things like that. But the company that are actually making it, they're called
Hangar 13.
Hangar 13, yeah, Hangar 13. This is their first game apparently.
Yeah, it's.
So when I heard that, I was like,
oh yeah, but apparently it is their first game as Hangar 13. But there's been people who've worked on Mafia 1 and Mafia 2. Yeah. So that's good.
Yeah, so when I first read that, I was like, and then I saw gameplay and I was like, oh my god, this looks amazing. This is sex for my eyes.
It is.
It's gorgeous. It felt like the first time I saw GTA, when they first showed us some gameplay from GTA 5.
Yeah.
And it was like, wow, this looks beautiful.
Yeah, it does.
That's what it's like.
It looks really good.
Actually, it looks, I would say, arguably nicer than it.
Yeah,
I don't think it's going to be a multiplayer game though, is it?
No, I don't want it to be though. I don't want it to be. I mean, the Mafia 1 and Mafia 2 went, and they were great.
Going back to that,
the stories and Mafia games have been fantastic. I love the first two games, and I loved how the end of the second one finished the story from the first one.
Yeah,
it was just brilliant. Blew me away. You were the guy who killed the guy from the first one. Spoilers if you haven't played it, but you're a bit late to the party if you haven't. Yeah, if you haven't played Mafia 1 and 2, do you know what I mean? That was years ago.
I don't think that's a prerequisite to play this game though.
Oh no, definitely not.
It's a total new story though. There is characters from it Vito's in this game.
Yeah, but he's
like support, isn't he? He's just like a supporting character.
Yeah, I mean, it's against the Italian Mafia now because Lincoln Clay, the guy you play, he was in the Black Mob or something.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And then everyone from the Black Mob gets wiped out, and then he becomes a leader. So he's starting to attack.
I think it's because obviously he's a Vietnam war
vet.
Vietnam war
vet.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm saying that German. But that's weird. He's a Vietnam War veteran.
Yes.
Got there in the end. And then he's come back, and like I say, he's about to rejoin the Black Mob, and then I think the Italian mob kill a bunch of them.
Yeah,
pretty much all of the heads.
Yeah, and he's pretty much the only one left.
Yeah, he somehow survives that, so it's kind of like a one-man vendetta. But I got vibes of Punisher about
that.
Oh,
definitely.
Kind of
the stealth gameplay.
I'm a guy with like Liam Neeson. I'm a guy with a particular set of skills.
Yeah. Oh, he's got
knifing
people in the face. It seems to be his main skill set.
Take out one at a time. I do like that. The melee.
Oh, it's brutal, but it's brilliant.
I've seen one, and he had I think he had a Thompson. And he punched the guy and got him down on his knees.
And then fired.
He clubbed him on the back of the head. So I don't know if it was contextual to where the character's standing.
Right. Oh, okay.
But it looked pretty brutal. You know,
I've seen the shotgun ones.
He went down and then he just clubbed him across the back of the head. But it wasn't a classic melee attack where you press B and that's the melee attack. It was kind of oh, that was brutal. That cracked his skull.
Well, apparently you can play it two different ways. You can go in guns blazing or stealth, and I'm a fan of stealth, but I can't turn around and say that is stealth because the guy who gets a knife to the face 5 times, he just leaves him in a pool of his own blood and vomit. You know what I mean? So that's not stealth for me.
Hide the body. No, just leave it.
No, I'm just going to leave it so he can poo when he's dead and people can see it. It's not stealth.
Games will never hit that point where you stab someone and that corpse shits itself.
Yeah.
Because that does happen. I mean,
Ben
I don't
would know.
I've never died and shit myself.
Yeah.
But I've killed many shit out.
Killed many people who poo themselves.
Yeah. But no, when your muscles relax, so just...
Yeah, it comes away. What is this podcast today?
I don't know. It's
Beards, corpses.
Beard, corpses and shits.
Yeah. But yeah.
Incontinence via death. Imodium can't fix that. There's no cure for that.
Christ.
No, it just, like I say, visually, it's awesome, and it's just like the whole scale of it. But I like the little details. Like I think he's got like a scar on his head.
Yeah.
And it just looks really good.
Yeah.
Like just little nuances like that. Like stand out, like his dog tags moving as he goes into cover and things like that.
It does look beautiful. It looks really good. And it's set in 1968 in New Bordeaux. I don't know if that's like a real place.
No, it's a reimagining of New Orleans.
Right. Oh, okay.
So they're doing like the GTA thing where they're like reimagining a city.
Yeah.
But obviously, because cities in real life aren't interesting from one side to the other, they're condensing it into a small area so you get all the interesting areas.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Well, for me, I was sold when he pulled up in a 1967 Chevy Impala. I mean, it's not that actual car, but that's what it is.
Pretty much it is. Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah, and it's like the driving looks quite good.
Yeah,
as well.
it does. Yeah,
that's the one thing I didn't really enjoy the driving on Mafia 2.
No, because you were a taxi driver, weren't you, in the second one? And that's the first mission. You helped them get away in a car, and the driving wasn't very fluid. It was a bit naff.
The thing is the argument they kind of had for that was, cars didn't handle back then.
Yeah, but
and I'm like, but it's a video game.
Yeah,
it's fun.
It's supposed to be fun. Well, it's accurate to the 40s. The cars were shit.
The 40s, you start steering and you've missed your turn.
Yeah. God damn it. Oh, Christ,
look, the handling looked better. Like, from what I could see, it was like more easy to pull off handbrake turns to get around corners.
Fast and Furious.
It looked good. I like the idea of that you've got your car. Like, you don't get that many games. Like, obviously, you get it in like
Grand Theft Auto 5 does it now.
Grand Theft Auto, 5 did it. Yeah, that was good.
But I think that was.
But like prior to that, it was kind of like you would get a car and you could soup it up, but if it blew up, that was it.
It was game over.
You know what I mean? I like the kind of fact that this is your car and that stays you throughout.
Yeah.
Because it's like kind of iconic. You know what I mean? You can steal other cars and stuff.
I do like that, but when Grand Theft Auto 5 it said, well, you've got your own car, I thought, well, am I just going to drive around in that car? And I did. Like, unless I was away from my car on a mission, I always drove my own car and it got kind of boring. So, I mean, I do think it'd be quite cool. But the second I see an Impala, I'm jacking that shit immediately and I want to keep that.
I like the idea of your own car, but I think obviously it would be better if, say, you could choose it.
Yeah.
You can choose it and you set it as your main car.
Yeah, that would definitely be it.
I mean? But I mean, in the defense of GTA 5, obviously it was like the vehicles were kind of specific to that character. To
their character, yeah.
So it was like, like Trevor's was a 40-bit pickup truck. But what you could do is you could still soup that up. Mm-hmm. So if you souped it up, that it would stay with you the entire game. So it was like you could put bullhorns on the top of like Trevor's pickup truck, which I did like straight away.
Clown horns as well.
And it was just there the whole time. And it was good. You know what I mean? Like I like that consistency. Like you could like, Franklin had a motorbike.
Yeah.
So he had a car, and I didn't like the car because the car was like a proper lowrider.
Yeah, like gangster car.
Yeah, and I just
didn't like that at all.
And then he had a motorbike, so I stripped it down to like its bare bones and painted
it
black. And I was like, this looks cool as shit.
Yeah.
And I just used that the whole game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm already sold, like you say, on the car he currently has because the car every time.
I mean, to me, I just want the Impala because it's Supernatural, obviously. So I'm gonna hunt for that immediately. Do you know what I mean? I think we're talking more about Supernatural than we do about your beard.
You do.
Sorry, I do.
You talk about my beard and Supernatural
more than you do.
Well, I didn't mention it.
I just thought I would. The listeners can't see what faces. I know. I get excited and
they don't want to say what faces. That's why.
I know. Unfortunately,
unfortunately, you're upset, but unfortunately, because I've got a face for radio.
Yeah, that's it. That's sad.
Podcast.
Sad but true. Yeah, not even radio. They'd only want one radio. But yeah, so back to Mafia 3.
They couldn't have one radio. We're sweating much.
No, we do.
We're talking about corpses shitting and stuff. What radio station is that? Next on Radio 1.
Yeah. Do you like corpses, beards, and pooping? Then this is the show for you. But yeah, in Mafia 3, this is the first game where you don't work for the Italian Mafia, you're working against them.
Yeah.
I mean, there is people from the Mafia who will help you.
Yeah.
Because obviously they want to keep, those characters in the game. But I think that's quite good.
Like you say, Mafia 2,
yeah.
Like you say, he is one of those supporting characters who's like helping you.
No, that's cool.
I like that though, because I think open world games, they kind of have to do that. Like, you have to strip a character down to basics and have to build an empire up, or there's nothing for the player to do.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's why Saints Row 4 was like the worst Saints Row.
Oh, it was terrible.
Because like straight away you're the president of everything.
Yeah.
So like they were like, what can we strip away from them? And like, destroy Earth. And they were just like, oh, okay, now you're getting silly.
Yeah, and then you're in a simulator with superpowers. You know, it happens every day, so it's just ridiculous. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to play a game that I already play in real life because I'm not Batman.
I like how for GTA 5 they changed it so it wasn't like they were like building an empire. It was just about them trying to make some money
for themselves.
so they could retire sort of thing, you know what I mean? It was kind of like...
Not that they made any money in that game, though, until the last heist. It was always some way where you were having a heist, but you had to do it for somebody else.
There was ways to get like more money in the first heist, but it was kind of like, well, what's the point?
Yeah, because you're just going to fucking get it taken from you. It's ridiculous. I mean, the last heist you do get a lot of money, but at the same time, you've planned 5 heists and every single one, it goes tits up. Or you've got to give it to somebody else. Yeah. So it's ridiculous.
And there was nothing worthwhile spending money on.
Yeah, I mean, I hope, because in Mafia 2 there was bank robbing. You could put like dynamite at the bank, blow it up and get the money. So I hope they've got that in this game because I love doing that.
I haven't seen much of. I haven't seen much of like side missions. Like mainly I've seen gameplay of actual story missions. Yeah. Which, don't get us wrong, I'm totally there for the story. Like, it looks cool definitely. As hell. But I think, obviously, there will be more to do in the world. Yeah, there has to be. I mean, nobody wants to... I mean, nowadays, like, open world games, they've got to be 40 hours plus because people don't want to play a game like Mafia. I think Mafia 1 was only, like, 12, 13 hours long when I first played it on PC. Yeah. And, I mean, it would have been good then, but now, like, Grand Theft Auto 5 set the bar so high with, like, 60 hours of gameplay that they've got to get around that, you know what I mean? There's a delicate balance to be had where you got to get a lot but not too much.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's what the Assassin's Creed games have had, that problem where they've put too much in, so it's like every corner you turn there's something wanting your attention. Yeah. But not necessarily something good. Yeah. Like, I'd rather have you know what I mean? Like, not necessarily quantity, but I'd rather have the quality. I'd rather have to walk, 10 blocks to find an activity that's actually worthwhile and interesting. Then just to have so much in every corner there's another race, or there's another run through here, or another shooting gallery,
which is quite similar to Watchdogs, but we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
I mean, that's the thing. Open world games, you always can compare it to other open world games.
Yeah, well, you do.
But, I mean, this isn't like say it's like Grand Theft Auto, although probably is its main comparison. Like I said, this is just a story-driven game. They're not focusing on multiplayer side of it, where that's become a big thing for. Yeah. I think that's, for me personally, that's why I'm not interested in GTA anymore, really. Like, I'm interested in GTA.
But not online.
Like, GTA 5 anymore. Like, I'll not touch GTA 5 probably ever again, I don't think. Yeah. Because there's nothing for me left in that world.
No, like
the story mode is. Yeah. Like, the story mode's great. I would replay the story anytime.
But not the GTA Online side
of it. Online just hasn't got it. I just think, give with some story DLC, you might get people back to playing that game again. But
there's another DLC coming for online, and it's like the biggest one they've had, and you can run your own empire and have drug dens and stuff like that. And I mean, it does sound appealing, but then it's the fucking monetary value of what is the drug den going to cost you, because I don't have £12 million in game because I didn't buy shark cards. But again, that's just
you get someone where you don't need that shark cards.
Yeah, you do.
To get 12 million, you're like, well, yeah, I don't, but I'm not going to play this game every day for the rest of the time.
Unlike the people who do. And like heists, they were just ridiculous as well. But I mean, I'm glad that this Mafia 3 doesn't have multiplayer, because I do like my single player story games. Yeah. And this looks like it's going to be brutal, and it's going to deliver. I mean, Mafia 1 and 2, the story's always been good. Every one has been excellent. And if it's...
from what I've heard as well, is the gunplay is a lot better, because like, I did like the shooting on 2, but it wasn't perfect. Yeah. And it seems a lot better, and they've got like your classic weapon, your weapon click wheel. Yeah. For selecting characters, so that's pretty sweet. And like, see, you were mentioning about the stealth versus, like, because that's where we differ entirely. You like to lurk around in the shadows.
I do.
Like the pervert that you are.
Yeah.
And I like to just be like ramble with two M60s impossibly held, and just like
just fire away,
just fire and
die.
I mean, I was watching some gameplay of some guy who, like, I think he must have went to some conference where they got to play 2 hours of the game, and he was allowed to just say what he liked about it, and he was like, oh yeah, I really like the stealth elements, but the whole gameplay that he showed was him just going in guns. He didn't want stealth. He was running around with a sword off shotgun. I'm like, that's not stealthy. Yeah. That's how I play it.
That's
I was loving stealth, it, you know what I mean? The most stealthy thing he did is there was a guy sitting reading a newspaper, and he sniped him, and I was like, sweet. Yeah. But he sniped him in front of his friends, so all his friends got up, turned around, and then he just walked in with the sword off shotgun. But I was just like, the fact that you can do that, I'm sold. You know what I mean?
The one thing I hate about stealth games is when you do that, when you kill someone in plain view, and then you hide, and then the guy who was sat next next to the guy who just got his head blown off. He goes, must have been nothing. And sits back, and returns to
like exploded tomato.
Just everywhere. Like, must be hearing things. His mates get deed on the floor.
The sinew off his shirt. Well, back to coffee.
That's the one thing. Even in the new Hitman game, they do.
Only wanted 2 shots. That's an ER, mate. That's an ER. Like, in your coffee.
You'll kill someone and someone will see you, and they'll run along and they'll tell the guard, the guy's 6 foot and he's bald, and you could be stood next to the bloke he's describing him to. He'll go, I'll check it out, and run straight past you, and you're thinking, come on, he's right next to you.
It's video games, isn't it?
But yeah, I mean, that's the only thing I would change about stealth, because I love pure stealth, because I'm a virgin. I do. Like, other people will run in and shoot people, and I will wait 10 minutes for someone to move, and I'll just be sat there for 10 minutes.
It's one of those things where it's a patience that only certain people have.
Yeah.
And I don't know how you have it. It's like I think I've mentioned it before, like my friend who camps on like
gets games 3 kills and no deaths.
Like that. Like, I mean, he does better than 3 kills and stuff like that. But like, if you only got 3 kills in a game and didn't die, you'd still be happy.
Yeah, because he's came out on top.
But he
hasn't went negative.
I don't understand, because you know what I mean. There's nothing wrong in that, because it's
how
you enjoy the game.
It's how you enjoy the game.
It's whatever you want to do. You know what I mean? Because I personally find nothing more satisfying than killing a camper.
Yeah.
So if campers didn't exist, I wouldn't get that satisfaction. And you just like. You happen to be behind someone and they're just lying down waiting, and you just stood next to them and you're like, you don't know how to this is amazing.
I have all of the power.
Yeah. You know what I mean? So that's good. It's great. You know what I mean?
It is.
Nothing worse than when that happens, when you get behind someone and you're like messing around too long and somebody else sees you and shoots you.
And you get
and
shot.
And
you look like a dickhead.
Corpse, and then just goes back to camping. And you're just like,
what was this? Must have been nothing.
That's the only time I get grenade kills with campers. Like, on, say, Battlefield, for example, because Battlefield, the grenades aren't like, they don't have amazing splash damage, so you have to be quite accurate with them. So the only time I seem to get grenade kill is when someone's been camping in a place, and then obviously I'll just stay out of the line of sight and
just throw it in. Die, sucker!
They'll never stand up in time enough to get away from the grenade. They're like, oh! They go into crouching and explode.
I mean, I don't usually camp, but even I don't know where the grenades come from when it's been thrown. I'm like, where's that? And I'm just thinking, I'm going to die. So I just stand still and take it like the bitch I am. But so when's Mafia 3 out? Do you know, Ben?
October the 7th.
Very good. This year as well, which is awesome. I cannot wait.
That is going to be good. I mean, I think it's quite a good release, because it's before the Call of Duty behemoth comes and steals everyone's thing, and it's before Battlefield 1.
Yeah. So, I hope to God that people have learned the lesson with Call of Duty, but again...
So I hope it does. I mean, the thing is I think even though it will sell well, it'll still probably sell as well as Mafia 2 did, where Mafia 2, like, a lot of people played it. Yeah. But it wasn't the hit of the year.
Yeah.
Not that it wasn't worthy of
it was.
At the time, it was a brilliant
game,
and I think it's the same thing. I just think in that window, it's the Christmas window. Those are the games that, people who don't get them there and then, they're getting them, as a present for Christmas.
Yeah.
People are more likely to end up getting one of the shooters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I'm going to get it.
Because obviously us, we're like, as we're like more hardcore gamers, I'm going to get them all.
Yeah. All of them. Well, except Call of Duty Infinite Space. I'm
not buying
Fuck that shit. But
didn't you say Gears is out October?
Gears
is... So we're going to get Gears as well.
Oh yeah, I cannot wait for Gears 4, man. Cannot wait.
So there's a lot of games coming out in that time. So there's a lot of competition, but I think coming out early is a smart move for them. Yeah. Because they're coming out kind of...
Before those, Yeah, that is a smart move.
Because the thing you've got to think of is, not everyone is a super hardcore gamer. Like, someone might only buy 2 or 3 games a year. Yeah. If they haven't had a game for like, 4 or 5 months, and they go into a shop and they say Mafia 3 because there's nothing else for 2 weeks or something, then that's going to get them a sale, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I'm buying it because I like the games, and I don't give a shit about COD, so COD could kiss my ass.
We know your opinions on COD, and my opinions on COD. Like anyone who likes opinions on COD. Yeah. There's people who are like, but I like COD. I don't like anyone. I was lying.
Yeah.
All of our interactions have been fake.
To be fair, when Black Ops dropped for backwards compatibility, I was on that for like a good 3 days.
Yeah. The thing was, I was actually thinking about it today, because I was like walking through the living room and I saw it, because obviously it's a 360 game, so it didn't fit on my shelf. Yeah. So it's actually resting on top of my console right now. Yeah. So I walked past and I saw it, and I was thinking, like, I was so hyped for Modern Warfare to be remade, and then and I kept saying, but there's no. And then obviously when I found out, they were attaching to the package, I told them,
go fuck off. Yeah, go fuck yourselves.
Yeah, obviously we mentioned that in the previous episode.
Yeah.
and like my opinions on that, and that kept the whole point of that episode was, well, why is it not just backwards compatible?
Yeah.
And obviously they didn't do it at the time, but since that episode, obviously they made Black Ops backwards compatible, Black Ops 1. And then I was so excited, I was like, oh yeah, and I played it, and then like I say, we played it for about 3 days.
Yeah.
And then I'm kind of like, oh, well, I've had me fill of it.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking and now that I've had that, I'm thinking that's what I'd feel like with 4. So even if they sold 4 backwards compatible for like £10,
you would still
wouldn't
sick
buy
of
it
it
because I know for a fact I'd be sick of it in 3 days because
it's
I've
just,
already played that game to death. You know what I mean?
It's just
I think
pretty.
it was one of those things I thought I wanted it, and I think a lot of people probably think they want it.
Yeah.
But then when you actually
get
it,
you're
like
disappointed.
Nah,
what's the point?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you've seen everything that there is to be
Sad,
unlocked
but
on
true.
it and stuff. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
You've already got all the gold guns and.
Well, I haven't. I've never prestiged
You know what
in
I
a
mean?
Call of Duty game ever because I get fucking sick of them.
Yeah.
12-year-olds having sex with my mother. You just haven't.
I know, but that didn't really happen on 4. It was like that was the one game where it wasn't.
Yeah.
It was thereafter that it started to become, you know what I mean?
Because they made it
Black
more
Ops around Black Ops coming out. That's when Call of Duty started to get stale. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we'd already had too many of the
12-year-olds who were better than we, and But anyway,
we're just better about it because children. Are better
I hate the fact that children are better than me.
That's why I hate kids because they're all better than us. At everything. You know what I mean?
So, should we talk about Watchdogs 2?
Well,
it's been announced. Yay!
Yeah.
Well,
that was one of that's Ubisoft and their hype train. Every time they sold that game so well to us.
They did,
and it was so shit.
It was. My problem was because obviously we don't have much to talk about Watchdogs 2 because it's just they've said Watchdog 2 has been confirmed.
Yeah.
Like, I feel that we should really talk about the problems with the first one.
Yeah, and what they need to fix.
And what they need to fix. Because my biggest issue was, I didn't buy the game, I borrowed it from you. And the second I got into the game and I was allowed to roam free, it was just, you could do everything.
Yeah.
Straight away.
It was
so oversaturated, it was ridiculous. There was no goal. Whereas in Grand Theft Auto 5 you would unlock certain things, or in San Andreas you would unlock like gang shootouts after a mission. Yeah. But in this,
That's what the thing is. It was just so much. Different types of gameplay. That's one of the things, like, although Saints Row has many flaws, one of the things I liked about Saints Row was it makes you try every game type once.
Yeah.
As part of
a side mission.
So it started as like a story mission, or like you say, a side mission.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, then once you've played it once, even if you fail it, once you've played it once, then you get it unlocked on the map to play it. So it's like, so that's what that is. If you like it, you can go and play more. If you don't want to, just leave it. You know what I mean? But it makes you do it once just to give you that taste.
Just so you can get a taste.
And you only get it at certain points. It's not like, here's everything, go do what you like.
Yeah, which is, I mean, because there was no rhyme or reason for it. Yeah. As far as I got into the story, there was never you have to be a giant spider and destroy the city as a side mission or anything like that. Do you know what I mean? And it just
that was fun for about 2 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think I played 3 of the mini games, and they were fun for 2 minutes. And I thought, well, why did they give me this so early? If this had been an unlockable, I would have thought to myself, oh, well, I want that.
Yeah.
And do you know what I mean? And the always online kind of aspect to it, where someone can come in and hack your world. I just didn't like that.
I think you could turn it off, and I think I did.
Did you? Oh, well, I didn't know you could, or what off.
I think I turned it off because it was annoying. Like,
right.
It just kept happening to us all the time.
Yeah, and people coming into your world while you're in the middle of the story or walking through the streets. It's just fucking annoying.
It was one of those ones where it was like, kind of like, I could see what they were trying to do.
Yeah.
It was like one of those ones where it's like, you know, you have these ideas of grandeur that never really come off. I think that's what it was. It was one of those ones where I really would have expected them to have maybe said that in the room where they were coming up with the ideas, but then not actually put it in the game.
Yeah.
Because they would have seen the logistics of it didn't really work, but they didn't.
They just put it. Well, to me, it's like the first Assassin's Creed. The first Assassin's Creed was hyped like crazy, and I remember buying it day one, and then when it came to the game, you pretty much had everything available to you straight away, and I didn't like that. And I mean, the game story suffered the same way the Assassin's Creed one did, because you were doing the same things: follow this guy, then kill this guy, then follow, and that's all it was.
It's weird because there's a delicate balance in replayability and what's interesting, because like recently, like say, we talked about Overwatch, and I've got Overwatch, and if you play the beta, it's the exact same game. Nothing's changed. You pretty much have everything unlocked from the start. The only thing you don't have unlocked is like skins,
but
and stuff like that.
It's a total different game though, isn't it?
It's a total different game, but I mean, in that sense though, usually a shooter has unlocked progression, and this doesn't. You know what I mean?
But like, the skins and stuff are quite cool to unlock though.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? But like, I'm not playing it with any end goal in mind, thinking unlock it, whereas like say Battlefront, for example. I'm grinding Battlefront at the minute because I've loved Battlefront, but now I'm at that point where I've played too much of it. So like I'm enjoying the downtime from Overwatch. I'm just gonna wait for the next thing. But in my mind, I'm like, I just want to get a level 50 so that I can get this, and then I'm done. And I'm done. You know what I mean? But I am playing it on 2 consoles, so I'm like level 30 something on both consoles. So I've put in like 100 hours or something.
Christ.
You know what I mean? And that's between other games that I'm playing because I'm always playing more than one game. You know what I mean? I'm still playing Fallout and I'm still playing God knows what. And now I've got Overwatch where I'm
playing Fallout at the minute. Mods are coming for Fallout on the 31st, actually. Some of them look quite good. You can be the Flash on one of them. I didn't think you'd be able to, but you can.
Like you can. I think I've seen it because someone made a video of them pretend to be Quicksilver, didn't they?
I can't say I've seen
mod
that one.
It was the Flash mod, but they were dressed as Quicksilver and they were like running up and punching Deathclaws in the face and stuff like that. And
which will be done.
It was cool because they were like threw like 10 Molotovs, but obviously they just held in place and then they ran past them and then sped back up again and they're like, sweet. It was awesome.
Oh well, I'll definitely be playing that. But like Watchdogs 2. I mean, obviously all we know is it's been confirmed, but it needs to take it. I mean, I don't know if they'll learn from the mistakes.
About that progression, like I say, some games can. I think, like I say, Overwatch just got away with everything being kind of available from the start, whereas Watchdogs was like there was no. I didn't feel pushed. I never finished the story because
neither did I.
But it was like a lot of the mechanics. Like I like the melee attacks, and the stealth was functional.
It was okay. Yeah, it was.
It was really bad.
Yeah,
I mean, it wasn't good, which is weird because like Ubisoft I've made loads of shooters like over the years.
Yeah.
They can do shooting mechanics really well. In that game, they just didn't. I hated the shooting in that game. It just didn't feel responsive. The guns felt like they're more like clicky than gun sounds. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. And for me, the story was fucking depressing as well.
It was
like
depressing as fucking. It didn't. In the character wasn't likable.
Yeah.
And he was
Aiden
like
Pierce. Yeah.
and he kind of went back on everything he said. He was kind of like, oh, I'm going to do this because I don't want this to happen. And then 10 minutes later, he was doing exactly what he said he wasn't doing.
Yeah, I didn't. It was. I mean, whereas The Last of Us was
trying to put like a likable hero in GTA, and then 10 minutes later, the person who's playing it's like running people over on the pavement. You're like, well, you kind of pretend that you've got this inner turmoil.
Yeah, of course. Well, that was the problem with Grand Theft Auto 4 as well. He was like, well, I don't want to kill people, and then he was just straight up murdering folks.
And then he murdered everyone he
met, pretty much. And I mean, like The Last of Us, that had a sad storyline. The bloke lost his daughter, and this is pretty much the same storyline, but it just wasn't executed as good, and it came across as depressing because there was no joy in it. There was nothing at all.
The thing was, though, like I say, it was depressing as fuck as well. But he still had family, so his sister,
and his nephew,
his nephew, and she was like basically saying to him like, "Oh, come on, like just come and be a family guy, like just come." And,
but he's like, "No, I don't want to. I want to murder everyone."
Yeah, basically,
and cry.
Yeah.
But
it's so bad.
Yeah.
The thing was, it was one of those ones where like we got sold on flashy trailers because like obviously the original E3 trailer from like God knows was it 2011 or something ridiculous.
Oh, it was a while back now. I think it was 2012.
Yeah,
I think it was.
And it was like, it was shown on a high end PC, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, they always do that though.
It looked amazing.
It did.
And it was like,
it looked sexy.
And obviously there was all the hacking, you know what I mean? I use that term loosely.
With a smartphone.
In inverted commas, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The hacking where you just pressed a button on your smartphone and changed the lights. And
yeah. I mean, it was so depressing when we did Big. We had to add a fart to the bit where he was moving along and the wind blew his coat because we're like, well, this isn't very funny. So and then we added a sound effect to make it funny. Do you know what I mean? That's how fucking depressing that game was.
Going for like obviously trying to be a funny game.
No, of course not.
We were trying to make a funny show out.
We were trying to make a funny show out of it.
A joke out of a fucking the most depressing thing. But I mean, like it was just like stuff that never really happened. Like. Iconic for a similar reason, Ubisoft, The Division, that everyone went wild at the E3 trailer because when the guy was in cover, he shut the door. Well, what they did in the E3 trailer for Watchdogs is there's a gunfight and it's stopped a bunch of traffic, and a guy's like in a car and his wife's been killed in the driver's seat.
Yeah.
But this isn't like a part of the story. This is just happening live during the game. So like obviously a gun spray has killed her. And he opens the car door and he pulls them out as they get into cover.
Yeah.
That never happens in the game. Like, you can't do that shit.
I never saw that.
It looked amazing. You're like, whoa, what?
Yeah, that's
so, like,
pretty
if
badass.
Someone catches a bullet, you can
help
that partner out of the car and all that. And,
but I can't say I ever did that.
Yeah, and none of that shit ever happened. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, and like I say, the shooting was it just wasn't there.
No, unfortunately it wasn't. No, but so Watch Dogs 2 needs to take a good hard look at itself. Well, from the first one, and sort itself out for the second one.
Because they've got a lot to build off, though. Like I say, I mean, the thing you got to think about, like I said, like you mentioned yourself, is, you know, same with Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed 1, I didn't finish that game. I got bored.
No, neither did I.
Whereas, like,
I finished the second one.
Better.
Yeah, it did.
It's got shit again.
Oh yeah, it has now.
And I mean, they're no shit because they're giving it time off. They're basically like, people don't want Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, this sucks all the balls.
You know what I mean?
We'll take it back. Yeah, I think it comes out every 3 years now instead of every one, because it did come out for. There was Assassin's Creed 2, and then
it was like COD,
Brotherhood, and and I mean 2 and Brotherhood were good. They were really good. I enjoyed those, and then
I liked Black Flag.
Oh, I love Black Flag. That's my favourite because you get to be a fucking pirate. Why haven't we got a sequel to that? Do you know what I would love?
Well, they did technically because they did the one on 360, but because nobody was playing 360 anymore.
Nobody bought it.
Not as many people bought, but that looked really good. What was it called?
I don't know.
But basically, what they did is they brought out Unity, and they brought out one for the 360 at the same time, and the one for the 360 had all the ship gameplay on again.
Yeah.
Where you want a smaller boat.
I didn't know that.
And it was like, I think you were like in a colder part of the world, so there was like
little icebergs. I think.
So you could like you had like, I don't know what you put, but you put someone on the front of the boat and you could crack through the ice and stuff, and it looked really good.
Yeah.
And he played as an Irish guy, I think.
Oh, nice.
And it looked really good, but by that point I just wasn't touching the 360. I moved on, so it was like
the one thing that I think that I was skipped a beat on.
I was like, obviously we once again got sold on a good trailer on YouTube. You were like, oh,
I got so excited. It was a pile of shit. It was a pile of shit.
But when I saw the other game, which wasn't obviously multiplayer or anything, but that was the game we should have played and enjoyed, you know what I mean? Yeah. That's the game they should have put on next gen.
Black Flag needed online pirates.
Yeah.
Pirate ships. You could fight on a pirate ship, you could board.
There's that game that's coming out, Save Thieves.
Yeah, that looks really good.
Like, even though that's cartoony as fuck though, what we need a game where you've got like a bunch of ships and it's like ship combat. But everyone has to play a role, so you get maybe a team of 10.
Yeah.
One person's steering, and the other people have to manually load the cannons. And
that would be badass. I'd love
that. There's one online, on like PC. I can't think what it's called, but it's like if your ship starts sinking, you can get buckets and scoop the water out.
Yeah.
And it's like, I know it sounds silly to people, like,
but
when we make jokes about simulators and stuff like that, people do like chores, virtual chores, don't they? Though, because it's like something to do, and it's like
I tidied my room up loads of times.
Like if you killed another ship, the sense of accomplishment you feel over, like the essential accomplishment you already get when you kill someone in the game, because you're like, I'm better than you. That feels amazing. That's why. Like versus combat, so that's why PvP is probably the most popular game whatever.
It is,
because it feels amazing
to kill other people.
It does still feel like
murder,
but it's like that though. It's not just in a violent sense, because I would just say any online game, it feels good to batter someone. It makes you feel good about yourself.
It does.
So imagine that when it's like a team of 10, you've really had to work.
Yeah,
together.
You've worked your bollocks off to get that.
You know what I mean? Like,
and I mean, I'm sure on Sea of Thieves, like there's a clip of you walking someone off the plank.
Yeah, like
how cool is that?
Like, get off me ship.
Get off me ship, you dickhead.
Yeah, and stuff like that.
Yeah, cool, I'm looking forward to that. I really am.
Because I imagine. At that point, if they had the Black Flag kind of style, you could be like, you've done enough damage to the other player's ship.
Bought it.
Yeah. So that could have been the last guy on the ship, couldn't it? Be like, right, let's make him walk the plank.
Yeah. Oh my god, I'm getting goosebumps. Yeah, that would be so good.
It would.
But yeah, should we talk about Rockstar future projects?
Yeah.
Question mark? Because they've came out and said that they've got something in the pipeline for 2017, but they haven't said what it is. But of course, people have got their opinions.
Everyone says it's Red Dead, don't they? Every gaming site is posting videos. Whenever Rockstar says anything, they post a video with a picture of
Yellow
John
Wolf.
Marston. Yellow Wolf, yeah. John Marston, though, don't it?
Yeah.
That picture was hilarious. Yeah. It was a picture of like Yellow Wolf.
Yeah.
The guy who
and a canyon.
And a canyon. I don't know if it was Yellow Wolf.
No.
Like Yellow Wolf.
But for the episode,
it was just a guy with a fucking Stetson on, looking at like a canyon, for example. And it was like,
the graphics are amazing.
It's like, it's a photo.
That's real life.
It's 100% a photo, mate. How you know what I mean?
Oh my god.
Like, oh my god, Red Dead. Imagine you're like, how
Yeah, no, that's real life. Get out your basement and look. It's real life. Yeah, but I did put that in one of the episodes. Yellow Wolf, keep on Yellow Wolfing as an album cover. That was good.
It does look like Yellow Wolf.
Yeah, it does. I do like
a bit of Yellow Wolf.
I like Yellow Wolf, but there's been a map, hasn't there? There's a supposed map being leaked.
The thing is I'm just too skeptical about this stuff. So like,
anyone could have made it.
The second you see something like that, I'm like, unless Rockstar literally unequivocally say it, then you can fuck up. I don't believe it.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, someone who's got Photoshop could have just made that.
I think they've said it themselves in the past. They've said, like, you know, to not do a follow-up of Red Dead, there's like saying like that would be stupid.
Yeah, it would. I mean, I think personally it could be Red Dead Redemption, but part of us wants it to be Bully 2.
I want it to be Bully 2.
Yeah.
100%. I'm holding hope for that is Bully 2 is because they've recently re-released Bully on PS4.
Right.
They released that and Manhunt for like they were 11 quid each, I think.
Manhunt, man.
So I hope they were re-releasing them in the hope of like, let's see if more people play this, and in the hope that we can do it again.
Yeah.
Because Bully was one of those games where it was like, I'd heard a bit about it, but I was mainly just sold because it was Rockstar.
Yeah,
it was Rockstar.
same.
Because in Britain it was called Canis
Edit. Canis Canem Edit. It was called.
Which was Dog Eat Dog, I think.
Yeah, I think it was something like that for in Latin or some shit. Yeah,
it was something like that. But like I say, that was one of those games where it was like that was like a sleeper hit for me. Like because I still know people who I know love 3D. And would love Bully, but they never played it because it wasn't. And I think the name did it in the UK in particular really did it a disservice because if you're like looking at a bunch of games, the cover was like a school because you're a kid who goes to a public boarding school, but he's a troublemaker.
Bulworth Academy.
Yeah. But like they didn't want to call it Bully in the UK because all of the PC brigade were like, oh no, I can't do bullying, and it's like, well, it doesn't. Because if you play the game, he actually stands up against the bullies.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, that's pretty much the story at the start is.
Yeah, but it does condone fighting, I suppose.
Yeah,
but I mean, it's a video game, so it's not real.
I like punching the teachers. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, and in the game.
It was perfect for headlines, though, wasn't it? New video game lets kids punch teachers, gives them ideas. It's like, it doesn't give them ideas.
But all that negative press probably got kids thinking, fuck, I want that game. As a teacher, I'd like to punch.
But like I say, it was that whole thing of, like I say, the name. It wasn't a good name.
No.
To go from Bully, which is like an iconic name, and you can
to
Rockstar's Bully to Rockstar's
Edit.
Canem Edit.
Yeah, it's nah.
You know what I mean? Like you say, the cover was just this blue crest, and it said Canem Edit. If I saw that on a shelf,
yeah, you'd be like, "What's that?
You know what I mean?
Ponzi game?"
Like
yeah.
Say because, like you say, I was talking about this about Overwatch, wasn't I? Like where I say, like because I'm interested in games and I read about them and stuff like that. Like I say, if I was just a random person going into a show, because I mean that's what you do, you judge.
Yeah, you do.
Or a DVD or a game by its cover.
By its cover.
Like Overwatch, I would be like, nah, that's for fat nerds.
Because the anime.
Just...
That's for us then.
Yeah.
Because we're fat nerds.
Yeah, but I would just think, you know what I mean? Though I would just think that's for like someone who lives in his mom's basement. That archetype, because it was just like
anime girl at the front cover.
Girl on the front,
like Tracer. And I even said that. Yeah, I mean, I think we mentioned that in the Overwatch episode. I said, you know, because of the fact that there was an anime girl, I didn't like I didn't look at the game and think, oh, it's excellent. But I mean, obviously it was.
And then when you played it, you're like, oh, this is class. I love it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it really is. But
yeah, like I said, Bully was one of those games where back at that time when that came out, you know, it wasn't like. It is today where it's like, if you love video games, you can follow a couple of pages and nearly every second post on Facebook's about a video game. Like, that's what my feed's like now. It's like people I actually know and then video game.
Yeah, that's
you know
it,
what I mean?
yeah.
Whereas back then it was like you had to really go out and search games or you bought magazines.
Yeah,
and
you bought
like
magazines,
that.
that was back in the day.
All I knew was that it was like a kid in a school and I was sold because it was Rockstar. But I remember the first time like I was playing it and I'm like, this is amazing. But I genuinely thought you were just in the boarding school the whole game.
Yeah.
And then when it was like, oh, you got to go take this last to the fair.
And you can sneak out
to the town, and the town was massive, and there's a fair.
It was really.
I was like, wow, this is.
Obviously, it wasn't as big as Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, but for the time.
But for the time, it was brilliant. You had a skateboard and stuff, and you got a scooter, and it was brilliant. I was thoroughly blown away by that game, and I would love a sequel. Yeah. I mean, I love
that you could on your skateboard you could like hang on the back of cars.
Yeah,
that was so cool.
It was class Marty McFly stuff. Yeah. But I mean, I would love a Manhunt game, but the first one was so good, but it got such negative press because obviously you were a murderer and you could kill people in the longer you held their button in, you could do more brutal deaths and stuff. So for the second one, that obviously got a bit scared and like they took away all of that, and I think it would go the same route again. I think it would be like what the Punisher did. They would take out all the brutality of it, and it would. And I wouldn't like that. So I mean, personally, I think it's going to be a Red Dead game.
Yeah.
And I mean, and I think they're going to take aspects of the online mode from Grand Theft Auto Online and stick that in Red Dead. And I mean, if it's not money orientated, it could be fucking amazing.
That's the thing, though. I think what they will do is don't get us wrong. I do think the single player story will be brilliant.
Oh, fantastic!
100%.
They always are.
I do because I do trust Rockstar still to make that. But I think again, what we'll get is we'll get GTA Online, but with Rockstar.
Yeah, with Red Dead.
So, because Red Dead's online was brilliant.
It was. I'd play it now. Make it backwards compatible, please.
I love that. Only thing, like I said, that like I wish that added was more customization, so I could make a cowboy look like I wanted him to look.
Yeah, that's the one thing I didn't like about online. What I mean?
But that was literally the one thing. But what they'll do is they'll do it. It'll be like GTA Online, and it'll be like you'll be able to buy a crappy little shack above somewhere.
Yeah.
And or like you'll be able to go live in a teepee or something.
Yeah, even though that you're telling me that, and I know it's going to cost a lot of money, I'm still excited.
Yeah.
Because that's what they're going to have. Like, it won't be shark cards, but it'll be something along the lines of like,
there'll be like
gold saloon cards or. Yeah, and I mean, I don't want that because online, it will, and I mean, it'll have something like that. I mean, I want a Red Dead Redemption, but I don't want a Red Dead Redemption online that is exactly the same as Grand Theft Auto, where they release stuff for it, but it all costs you money. I just want death matches. I mean, yes, fair enough, you can rob a bank with your friends. I mean, could you imagine robbing a train?
Yeah,
that would be excellent. But I don't want it to be where I've got to buy saloon cards to be able to afford a horse or a new gun.
What I would love is because, like I say, we're next gen now, so like you should be wowing us right now. It shouldn't be like I shouldn't, and I still feel like GTA 5 because it was last gen. Even on next gen, it still feels last gen.
Yeah,
there's too much waiting around in lobbies. Like I think what you should be is you just join a game. I'd rather you give us less people in the world. Like it used to only be 16.
But it's 32 now, isn't it?
32 now. I'd rather you go back to 16. But have it be like, if we all want to go rob a train, we can just go rob a train. We don't have to be like, let's and all then the game, lobby and select the robbing the train mission. And you know what I mean? Like, make it be like, you can do it every 10 minutes or something.
I think that would be a good idea, where if a train comes by, you could get onto it and you could just rob it.
If you want to go rob, say, a bank, like the bank can only be robbed, say, once a day or something.
Yeah, I think that would be an excellent idea. I mean,
you know what I mean? Because a day is going to be within an hour of play.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I don't see Rockstar being at E3, but I think after E3 dies down, we'll get an announcement of what the game will be, or we'll get a little teaser or something like that, because Rockstar have always had their cards held tight to their chest, even though we know their games are going to be amazing, because they always are.
That's the thing.
Never fail.
They're so big they can do that. They're one of those.
But it's like a massive event when they release a trailer and it gets like 2 billion views in one day because they're so big. I think there should be more forthcoming with what they've got, even if it is just like a little teaser where you just see a cowboy boot and then it comes up Red Dead Redemption 3, even more redemption. Do you know what I mean? Whatever it's going to be.
When you think of how long will you generally wait for games? Like, just tell us. I don't mind if I've got to wait 3 years for a game.
Yeah.
I have to wait 3 years for a game because that happens all the time.
Yeah, it is.
You know what I mean? Like, we heard about Division about 3 years ago, 4
years ago. But they kept bringing stuff out.
Like,
they kept,
you know what I mean?
kept me interested.
So it's like, you know what I mean?
Let's still do that. Now. Yeah, I know we need a little snippet of information. I mean, I don't want it to be Jack Marston. Like
John, his son.
Jack, his son. I mean, I would take even being John Marston again, and it's a prequel when he was with that band of thieves.
I think we'll get a new character.
But I think it's more likely going to be a new protagonist. But if it is Bully 2, I want a whole new character. I want it to be a bigger school. I want it to be open world. But the one thing I didn't like was the mini games. Like, I hated the mini games. I mean, I like the fact that you could kiss the boys and you could kiss the girls and all that crap that you can do at school.
Kissing the boys,
I love kissing the boys. I had a few boyfriends in that game.
Just like
and you could pick, and you could pick flowers and stuff like that. But
like really selling this as the
no, but you could because you could beat people up. You could throw eggs and stuff. You could go steal panties and all that crap.
Hide in lockers. Like you could stuff kids in lockers.
Yeah, exactly. It was like you. Obviously, they did that in America. They don't do that much here. It's flushing your head down the toilet apparently over here. But anyway, like I think
the cherry bombs in the toilets as well.
Yeah,
toilets flood and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I want. I want it to be as good as that. But I mean, I personally think it's going to be Red Dead Redemption 3 or Red Dead, even Red Dead or whatever it's going to be. But if it is, don't go the Red Dead Online route where it's going to cost a fucking fortune. I mean, it is going to be that.
Yeah.
And it's going to be released again 3 weeks after the story, and it's going to crash again because they haven't learned, because all they care about is fucking money. But
that's the thing that like, obviously I'm talking about Overwatch a lot just because I'm playing it at the minute, but Overwatch's release has just been so smooth.
Yeah.
Like, even the beta, the beta never crashed once.
No.
I'm not saying it never crashed for anyone.
Yeah.
But, like, it's the smoothest beta and the smoothest launch of any multiplayer game that I've ever seen.
Yeah. I mean,
yes, every other game I've played on launch days. I play, like I say, I play a lot of Battlefront, and Battlefront regularly crashes for us.
yeah,
And
all the
Overwatch,
time.
all the time. Like it's always saying your connection to server's weak, but my connection would be fine.
Yeah,
And like I think for a while I thought it was my connection, but it's not, because Overwatch is I've not had one stutter with ever.
Mm-hmm. Are the dedicated servers
I think
on
they are,
Overwatch?
But that's the thing. I mean, Blizzard obviously they run World of Warcraft, so they're used to running huge numbers.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
but I just think like surely a company like Rockstar surely should know.
Yeah,
how
well,
to
they
do that
should
by now, and they've got enough money. If they don't know, they've got enough money
more
to
than
buy
enough
the people
fucking
who
money.
can look into it for them. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
they have.
So it's like.
They have. I mean, with Grand Theft Auto 5, it just showed you how money hungry they were because of all the online stuff.
Yeah.
And I never thought that of Rockstar before then.
Yeah.
Because I thought, you know what it is, to put some fucking hard work in this game with the DLCs.
The thing is, as well is it's the first time that they broke a lot of promises.
Yeah.
They were like, oh, we'll get you heists here, and then heists came so long after launch.
And it was, what was it? Oh, the harder to do than we thought, which is a load of shit because when you go into a heist now, it's like 2 guys go here, 2 guys go here. And there's nothing confusing about that at all. Yeah, because you do that in the story mode, and I'm sure we had heists in another game before then.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Payday.
Yeah,
it's just entirely based around heists.
Yeah, exactly, and it works. And the lobbies are better in that than there are in.
Yeah. The next gen launch wasn't great, but yeah. You know what I mean? Like, say, I think they dropped the ball big style there, and like, say, they broke a lot of promises in that sense, where they said this is going to happen here, and they mentioned like story DLC, and I think they've left it too long. Like, if they brought out story DLC, I probably wouldn't buy it just to spite them.
Unless it was zombies.
No, but yeah, I probably wouldn't just to spite them. I mean, that's a big thing about Red Dead. Red Dead had that amazing Undead Nightmare, which was the zombie mode. And I think Rockstar are missing a beat in adding a zombie mode. Yeah,
they should.
Because just imagine the open world multiplayer, but instead of NPCs,
it was zombies. Oh, that would be awesome. Yeah.
Like Undead Nightmare. What I liked about Undead Nightmare as well is ammo was scarce as well.
Yeah,
so you had
was.
to, like, if you killed a zombie, you had to search its corpse in the hope of finding a bullet.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
The good old days, man.
Like, imagine that multiplayer though. You know what I mean? That would be up there with DayZ in terms of like.
It probably would. Yeah. It probably
would. I mean, there's definitely money to be made there, which they're definitely missing a beat on.
Yeah, definitely. So what game are you hoping for? Hand on heart, what do you want?
You know, like, as much as I did love Red Dead Redemption, I do think if they bring Red Dead Redemption, we're just going to get GTA Online.
In Red Dead.
In Red Dead's world. So I think
that's
it'll be monetized, and I think it will. So I would say Bully, because Bully probably won't have an online aspect.
No.
But then I also think that's one of the reasons we probably won't get Bully.
Yeah. Or they could bring Bully online, do you know what I mean?
Oh, God,
and you could steal each other's fucking dinner money and shit.
Yeah.
Oh, Christ. But yeah, I want Red Dead 3. But I don't want Red Dead Online like Grand Theft Auto Online. I want it the way it was.
Yeah.
I want it open world, but I want it, like you said, where you can just go and rob a bank. And yes, the bank's got to close for a day, but in game day. Do you know what I mean? And if you lose the money, you don't get the money, but you don't have to pay for it.
You know, the one thing they did add on GTA Online, which was quite good, is the bounties.
Yeah.
The bounties make more sense.
Oh
in the
yeah,
West
I'd
than
love
ever
a
would.
bounty.
So,
that would be
but
so
good.
What
I would like as well about the bounties would be like, it's literally like in the game, because Red Dead Redemption had bounties and it was dead or alive.
Yeah.
So you could literally lasso someone.
Yeah.
You couldn't do lassoing online.
Please do that online.
So imagine if you could lasso someone, tie them up, put them on your horse.
Yeah.
But the other player has to like.
They could try. They
can maybe like if
wriggle
they have
out.
a knife, they can maybe cut themselves out or something like that.
Oh, that would be so good. Yes, if you're listening, Rockstar, even though you're not, just listen to Ben and Paul. We know what we want. We speak for the nation.
I was like, these assholes don't speak for me.
Yeah. Well, if I had listeners, that's probably what they'd say.
Yeah, but that would be amazing. You know what I mean? Like, if, like you say, that other player's like maybe struggling on the horse or trying to get free and stuff
that would
like
be cool.
And then obviously you take them in.
And collect a bounty and stuff like that.
Yeah, a bounty and you get more money for.
I want that.
I
want that right now
for bringing them in.
Alive than dead. Yeah.
Dead.
Oh, that would be excellent.
You could add a bunch of stuff in, like stuff like to stun people and stuff. So you could club someone maybe.
Yeah.
Like get like a slapjack. You know what I mean? Knock someone out.
Boom. Yeah. Oh, I want it. See, I want that game now.
Unconscious, then you can take them.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, we'll fall for the hype like we did for Grand Theft Auto Online, because when I saw the trailer for that, I thought, "Fuck yes, I want this." But now I'm really on it. I think I played on it the other day, And it's exactly the same. You shoot someone, well, your mental state is rising. Well, it's Grand Theft Auto. I shouldn't have a mental state.
I know.
Because they're all mental.
It's like you said, you've said it before though. It's like it's weird because GTA is always about being like the wild card and doing whatever the hell you want.
Yeah.
And yet this game,
it punishes you.
They're trying to punish you for like playing GTA the way GTA is meant to be played.
Yeah, exactly.
Like they give you a rocket launcher and then you shoot someone with it, and they're like, "Oh, you're naughty."
Yeah.
And you're like, "Well, why did you give us a rocket launcher?" Then?
You've given us all these tools to murder folk, but don't do it unless I'm doing it in a death match, which costs me money. When you'll get your money back because I'd have to buy more. We know Rockstar. We fucking know.
That was the thing as well, though. Is like they said they were going to do story DLC, but then they said, "Oh, yeah, we made over $1 billion in shark card sales."
Yeah,
over $1
billion.
It was like, we made over $1 billion in shark card sales, so we're just going to focus on the online. They basically just said that. We're just going to focus.
Well, we made more money on the online, so fuck you.
Obviously, we're keeping the investors happy, so we'll just keep doing that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, which is very depressing. But on that note, anyway.
Thanks a lot for listening to this edition of Unashamed Gamers, and just remember, GG doesn't stand for get good. It does.
I've
definitely done this too many times.
Yeah, well, doesn't stand for get good, it stands for get good. What?
It does. It stands for get good.
Do you want to try that again?
I don't even care.
Yeah. But yeah, thanks for listening. Remember to like, subscribe.
I'd be impressed if you've listened this long.
Yeah.
Nobody thought we'd get past episode 10.
I know. Nobody thought we'd get past episode 3. But yeah, remember to like, share, subscribe, comment, tell us your opinions. It would be nice to hear your opinions. The people who do listen, thank you very much for listening. We're on iTunes, but we're having a slight problem at the minute with the website we're on. But but we'll be back on iTunes very soon.
On iTunes.
Well, we are still on iTunes.
Only listen to about 10 episodes.
12, I think it is. But yeah,
which is more than enough of our ramblings
for now. But we'll see you for the next one. Bye.
Bye.